Hello, welcome to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph and I'm here today with Drako. We are excited to be playing Edge of Darkness today from AEG. This is a game that I've been looking forward to for quite a while since the Kickstarter were up and running, and yeah, it's finally here, so let's get into it and start playing. I have played it a few times with friends, and I do want to play it with Drako as well to show you how it works. Drako's over there, hugging the box as usual, but his player board is down here. He will be the green player as usual. I am the red player as usual over here. We have our minis. These are not needed at all, but they're kind of cool. There are cardboard tokens you can use as well. And we have the really cool tower over here with the enemies up there. We're going to be attacked by these enemies, and this tower will divide the cubes. I'll show you how that works when we get to that. But yeah, that's really cool. I love the artwork of this game. Now I had to put it like this. Really hard to film this. It takes up almost all of my table. I usually think that I have a large table, but yeah, wow, there's so much going on here. You can play without these boards. You can remove them and, you know, put the cards on here, but it looks much better this way. It's much more clean. So that's why I have the camera like this as well. I will have to pan around and so on. There's no way to do this from the top like I usually do these days. Anyhow, let's get into the game. Let's start playing. The first thing that happens is we're going to do a prologue. So before the first round starts, we're going to do a sort of bit of a setup. We already did most of the setup in the prologue. Since I am the first player and I have my starting 4 cards, this is not a deck builder, but a sort of card crafting game, just like Mystic Vale, that also from the same John DeClaire, the same designer. In this game, we sort of construct the deck as we play, but we have a common deck together, but we have our own cards. And these cards are sleeved. That's how this works. So, yeah, they come sleeved, sort of. So, sorry for glare. There's going to be some glare in this video. There's no way to get around it because of these glary, glossy sleeves. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. Anyhow, I have my starting 4 cards. So, I have a Patrician. And I have 3 citizens. And the first thing I do, since I'm the first player, is I'm going to choose one of these advancements out here on the board. And I'm going to sleeve it into one of these cards. And then Draco's going to choose 2, and I'll choose 1, and then he will choose 2. And so we get 3 each in a 2-player game. In a higher player count, it's only 2. And so, what do I choose? There's 10 different advancements out there. Each have a different, their own board like this, just thematic basically, and their own sleeved, or not sleeved, but their own cards that you're putting into the sleeves. And the thing is, so these are the same, but they come in like this is in the middle, and we have in the bottom part and so on. And so, yeah, I think it's 37 different of these comes with the game, at least the Kickstarter version with all the stretch goals. So there's a lot of variation in this game. You can do like setups in some ways. I'm doing one of the recommended setups. There's also like a campaign mode, sort of where you start off basic and then you get a more complex version of the game as you keep playing. But I'm sort of doing a medium complex or medium difficulty setup here. So out here, there's a bunch. There's these 5 and those 5. I get to choose one of them, and whatever I choose is also going to be blocked for Draco. He can't take that. I also get to do what's on the card. And yeah, you're going to understand more of that as I do this, but yeah, so I'm going to go on this route here. I'm going to take this one, the University Professor, and I'll take the middle one. It's okay. Doesn't really matter here. And I'll sleeve it into this card like this. So now my Patrician has her effect, but also this card, when I play it later on, will have this effect as well. Also, I should mark with one of these little thingies. I'll mark that that's the one I've taken, so Draco can't take that. And now I also get to do the effect. So I get to put down, this means I get to put down a trained worker, basically. So I can put one of my minis there. I'll do that. And then I get to train a new worker, and I pay 4, but I get a discount of 1 for each unit I have out here. So it's only going to cost me 3 money. We each started with 5. And that means on my player board here, now I get to add one of these from the supply. So I have 5 trained workers now. One of them is stuck over there though. So that was my first selection there. And now it is Drako. He's going to choose 2. And let's see. What does Drako want? I think... And he has the same, starting hand here. I think Draco's going to take one of his citizens. And he's going to sleeve this one in here. He wants a middle one. And this alms giver is a way to generate some gold. And this says that when you play it, you gain gold equal for each cube, threat cube, as they are called, on this card. And it has 2 right now, so Draco will get 2 gold right away. And then every time he activates this ability. And he wants to get something else down here that also has 1 or maybe 2. I don't know. Yeah, there's like 2. Like this Black Blade officer has 2 threat cubes. So he want to get one of those and put it in the bottom slot here later on. So that was Draco's first selection. But he gets to choose 2. He marks that he did that. And what is his second? This is good, but he doesn't want to do it now because the effect, he gets 1 gold and he gets to draw a card from the street out here. There's no cards there yet though, so it's not that great to do in the setup or in the prologue as we're in now. Maybe he will take... Oh, it's so tricky. I think he will take one of these Advisor to the Chancellor, and he will sleeve it in on his Patrician card like this. Middle slot, and this effect says that he gets to put down 2 of his trained workers onto Capitol Hall, and so that's the whole action. He gets to put 2 guys over here, but then on his turn, which is not now, it's sort of when we start playing, doing the action round, sort of the normal turns, he can pull these 2 back and pay 5 coins to get to sort of take over the allegiance and make one of the neutral cards. There's a bunch of neutral cards here. Make one of them into green, make it to his own, and that's the way to score points and get the other benefits as well during the game. So that's something he's aiming for, and now I get to pick 2. So let's see, what am I going for? Well, I do like the idea of being able to hunt these enemies, the threats that are out here that are threatening the city. We can hunt them down and to get points and other benefits. And if I want to do that, I should be looking at, where is it? Oh, it's over here. The Rangers outpost. Because this says I get to put down 1 worker and or take any card in the street, which is going to be here later on, and place it in my guild hall. But that's kind of not that great to start with. And then when I have people here, I can pull them back and pay 3 coins in order to hunt. But that's not that great to do in the prologue because I don't... Yeah. Okay, so instead I'll do this. I'll do Deep Hollow Border Town. This says that the Deep Hollow Militia Chief... I will sleeve it in under one of my citizens here. This says that I can place up to 3 trained units. I'll put 2 down here. And then I can pull 2 back in order to get 3 combat strength. This is something I will need later on. Some combat strength when I go hunt those enemies. So that's a good one. And then the second one, let's see. So I have combat strength. I have a way to train new workers, which is great. I'll get that later, the Rangers. I might go... Oh, a courthouse is pretty cool as well. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take the judge from the courthouse over there. And this is, I can put out up to 2 of my trained workers. And I think I'll put both of them out there. I don't see any reason not to, since I have an extra one. And then I can do, when I play this, I can do the action of taking one of them back, and then I can sleeve an advancement on a card in my hand, so I can get another card sort of from out here, which is great. So yeah, that's good. Okay, so that's my 3 that I have sleeved, I've chosen in the prologue. So that's done. These will go to the discard pile here. So they will be shuffled in with the deck. The one, we have 4. So the one that I didn't use to anything or didn't sleeve, that goes into my guild hall, which means it's going to be here. It's going to be one of the first cards that I get to draw and, you know, use at my first turn. This is the first player marker, by the way. Really cool. Okay, so that was my actions. Now Draco gets to take one more card. And he can't take anything that was already taken, of course. So that limits his options a bit. Well, I guess he could go for this Black Blade Officer. Let's leave it in here on a citizen. And then he gets to place down one guy over at the Black Blade Barracks. And then he can do an action of either from the card, he can do an action of pulling it back. And he will get 2 gold for each of his citizens in his hand or in his guild hall. And that's a citizen, right? So that makes sense. Or he can do one of these 2 actions, pull one back to gain in combat strength, or pull one back and pay 2 gold to gain combat strength for each of his citizens in his guild hall, the street, or opponent's hand. That's really cool. Okay, so that's Draco's selections there. These go into the discard. This goes to Draco's guild hall. And we just remove these markers, since we already have made our selections out here. And let's see, that's done there. And now those that weren't chosen, so was these 2. Wait, it has to be 4. So this one and this one. These 4 were not chosen. So these will be sleeved into 4 of these, just random. We just take them from the bottom here. 4 neutral cards. I'll just do this randomly, like that, and like that. Some of these neutral cards are patricians and some are citizens. That's why you want to do this randomly. And that. Okay, and then we'll take all of these and we shuffle them up. And you know, they are, you can see they are, on the other side is the enemies, by the way. They're up there. You'll see more of that later. So you should shuffle these like under the table so you don't see what it is you're shuffling, because, you know, you can see them. There's no back side to the cards, which is a bit different from, you know, most card games. So we shuffle these up. These become the deck. So out here we will have what's called the street, and in the street we have this deck here, and we will pull out cards like this. And the card that is closest to us now, or sort of farthest away from the deck, normally, since you're, you know, depending on how you watch this one is sort of free. You can take this for free. If you want to take cards higher up here, you will have to pay influence in order to skip cards. But you'll see how that works now that we go into the first round of the game. And I am the first player, so I am going to start off by, well, I can show you this. This is actually kind of good. We start here with the reference card. You can see a start of the round. We are going to first, all players take all cards out of the guild halls and place them on the table as their hands. So we each have 1 card, right, in our guild hall. So those go out on the table in our hand. And then we take the cubes. In the setup, we randomly draw 2 cubes. You have this really nice bag here of cubes. And we have our, you know, my color, Draco's color, and we have 15 of mine, 15 of Draco's, and 15 black cubes. Black cubes means everyone, basically. So we took 2 randomly, and now we put them out on the card, because those will go into the tower, and that might trigger an attack on the city, or on us, basically. And then we do in turn order. We draft cards from the street, so we have 3 cards in total in our hand. And so I am the first player. I get to choose 3 cards now. Well, actually 2, because I already had one, right, in my guild hall. So I have a hand size of 3 to start off. So I get to take 2 more cards. And like this card, this is interesting here in the system in this game. Like this card is my card. It has my allegiance. I'm the one that sleeved this in. I chose whatever. And same goes here. That over there is Draco's card. So I could take Draco's card, or I could take a neutral card, or I can take my own card. And you'll see how that works. But I think, first of all, I will take this patrician. So that's free, and it will give me some nice actions there for some stuff. And then I need to take one, I'm going to take one more, and I would like my own card, so I'm going to pay 1 influence here in order to skip this card and go straight for that one, and that's my 3rd card in hand. And when I pay this, you don't have to, but what we tend to do when we play it, we realize that it's easy to just flip this over right away. This is like goodwill. So you pay influence to sort of maneuver and, you know, not have to recruit this citizen guy into your crew this year. But then, you know, he gets a bit sad, but then there's also some goodwill here if someone else picks him up. So if someone else takes this card, they also get this goodwill. And goodwill, in some cases, has other uses, but most of the time it's just 1/4 of a point. So that's like, yeah, that's 25% of a point. So now everything slides down like this. And then Drako gets to draft 3 cards from the road. So what does Drako want? Well, actually he has 2 because he also started with 1, right? So he gets 2. Well, I think Drako, he kind of wants his own card as well, right? Yeah, so I think he will spend... Wow, this poor citizen, nobody wants to deal with him. Drako will also spend an influence here, turning it into goodwill, in order to pick up this here, and then he will spend an influence to ignore my card to pick up his own card. So that's the cards that Drako got into his hand. And he has a plan for that. And now this slides like this. And this is important because you are able to use these cards during your turn as well. You'll see how that works. So that was the assembly phase, the first part. And now the second step is that we count the number of cubes. So like my 3 cards I have here, I have 1, 2, 3 threat cubes, which means I will pull out 3 cubes from the bag. And it is 2 green, that's good, that's Draco's, I want to see those, and 1 of mine. I'll put them down here in my threat area, my threat zone. So those will come out later, right? Well, on the next round. Drako does the same thing. He has 1, 2, 3 as well. So he'll pull out 3 cubes, and he gets... Oh, I got 2 of mine. Okay, that sort of evens it out. And he'll pull them down to his threat zone. And now we are ready to go into the actual action phase. And in the action phase, I'm the first player. In turn order, each player will do all of the following and then end their turn. So first of all, I will drop the cubes that I put on my card, the ones that I pulled out in the setup. These will be dropped into the tower. And now you'll get to see this tower has like a divider in it, so we don't know which of these 3 bowls the cubes will end up in. You'll see how that feels. Okay, so 1 there and 1 there. In a 2-player game, if we ever get 6 or more cubes in one of these bowls, then that will trigger an attack immediately. And up here we can see how strong the enemy are. So up here, for example, we have the Dark Agent. He has a strength of 2. So if you want to beat him in a hunt, we have to have 2 strength. And if he attacks us, he will attack with a strength of 2. So we need to have more, 2 defense or more. And if we beat him in a hunt, then we will get 1 point. That's the symbol for points. And this guy is a patrician on the other side. So all the cards, as we sleeve these cards and we make them better, right, we get more and more cool effects that we can use. We also create more and more, stronger and stronger enemies, because once this guy is gone, either because he attacks us or we defeat him, then another card is going to be pulled out from the bottom of the deck and placed here. And that could be my card or Draco's card that we have improved a lot, that we put more cards into that sleeve. So that's a really cool system. And no attack happened now. Now I go into the, that's mandatory. I have to drop those cubes there. And we see if there is any attack, but it isn't. And now I get to do in any order. I can choose 1 advancement, just like I did in the prologue. I can choose 1 of them to sleeve into 1 of the cards that I have in my hand. And I can do that effect right away. And I can also, activate these effects that I already have played in my cards in my hand. And I can do that in any order. Oh, okay. So now the real... this game is, it's not that complicated in what you do, but it can be a real brain burner in terms of what to do in which order and which order is best to do things in and all that. So I think I'll do, and what I'm going to show you, it's a bit of, I don't have that much space here, but I'm going to show you like this. I'm going to place out, when it's my turn, I'll place out my cards, and when it's Draco's turn, I'll place out his cards here in the middle. So I have my 3 cards here. and I'm going to mark. You don't have to do this, but it just makes it so much easier for your brain. So you mark it when with your token when you used it, and this number, so you can even do it in order if you want to, but I don't care about that. So I'm going to do this patrician's action. That's going to give me one influence that I can use to skip cards next time around, and one goodwill. So now I have a quarter of a point. It goes into my point section here on my board. And I really love these boards. So, you know, there's this height difference here, so they don't slide around and all that. So good. Okay. So I use that. Now this citizen, I can't use him by himself, because the only thing he will give me is 1 strength. So I need to use him when I do a hunt, when I do an attack on those enemies. And I can't do that right now. Well, I can, but yeah, we'll see. And then the same goes for this citizen, but down here, the judge, he has an effect, right? So he can... Because remember, in the prologue, I used the judge and I put 2 guys out there. Now I can do the action here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this action, which says, pull back one of those guys, sleeve an advancement on a card in your hand. So I'm going to pull this guy back. He goes into my trained agent area, so I can use him for other things later on. And now I get to sleeve something in here. And now I think I will aim for that. Let's see. I will visit the Ranger's outpost and get some ways to hunt enemies. So I get a Ranger Captain. So I'm going to sleeve this right away in here. So I'm making my card even better. Now it has 3 slots here. And I already used the Judge, right? But now I can also use the Ranger Captain, which says place a trained worker on the Ranger Captain spot. And I have a guy available now because I pulled him back earlier, right? To do this sleevement. So he's going out there. Or I can take any card in the street and place it in my guild hall. And I do want to do that because out here on the street I have my own card. So I want to have this one. So I'm going to take this, I get some goodwill, and this will go into my guild hall, which means I will get this card guaranteed next turn. Because you start taking from the guild hall and then you draft from out here. So I have 1 card already in my guild hall. That's a good effect. So that's done. And now I also have an effect out here on the Ranger's outpost. Since I have put a guy out there, I can pull him back and pay 3 coins in order to hunt. I just realized I only have 2 coins. Okay, so that was a bit failure. Otherwise I could have pulled these guys back as well to get 3 strength to my hunt. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that was... Okay, I will have to wait. I didn't really calculate for that. You can't watch... you don't watch this for tactical tips because I'm sort of new to the game still. But so I can't do that. I don't have enough money, so I think I'm going to be done with my turn. I don't really see any... And this guy that I'm not using, this card, that's only strength, I could discard this in order to pull one of my... workers back to my supply if I wanted to. If I had 2 cards that I didn't have any use for, I could discard those in order to activate one of the effects out here on one of the cards. And the thing is, if I would activate the effect on Draco's card, I would have to pay Draco 1 gold for each action I use on his card. But you'll probably see that more later on. Okay, I am going to discard this in order to pull this guy back, because this one is just standing here. No, it's this. He's only standing here to give me a discount when I train workers. I'm not sure I'm going to train workers for a while. So he's coming back home. So that was my actions. I put my little thingies back here and my cards. Depending on what cards these are, they go to different places. If it's my cards or a neutral, as in this case, they all go to the discard pile. But if it was Draco's card that I had in my hand, it would go to Draco's guild hall. So Draco will be able to use it on his next turn. So there's a benefit. Like, if Draco uses my card, he will have to pay me. I will get money for him using it. And then I will also get the card when he discards it into my guild hall. So I guarantee he can use it next turn. So you really want people to use your cards, which means you want to make really good cards. You want to, sleeve these advancements in there so that they become really good. By the way, I haven't sleeved an advancement for myself. I just realized that. Wow, I almost missed it. The thing is, I sleeved an advancement using this judge, but that's an extra one. You always get to sleeve 1 for free, sort of. But this card was discarded. I discarded that, but I can sleeve something into this neutral card. I almost missed that. Oh, then I might have the money. Wow. There's a way for, yeah, there's a way for me. I can do this. I can sleeve this, the dispatcher in here. So you take an advancement, you sleeve it in, and then you get to activate it. And that will give me, oh, wow, this is awesome. That gives me 1 gold. First of all, so now I have enough to do the hunt. I thought my turn was over, but it wasn't. Let's see, I'm just gonna mark again. So down here, like I did this patrician. And now I did the ranger captain, and I did the judge, and I discarded that to pull 1 guy back. And now I got the gold from the dispatcher, and now it says if I pay, I get to draw a card from here. I get to draw the first card, and if I pay 2 influence, then I can draw the card from my guild hall, and I have a card in my guild hall. Wow, that is so cool. This is a super combo here that I just realized. So, I only have 1 guy. Wow, okay, sorry, this became a bit tricky here. So I could... No, but I'm gonna take... No, I'm just gonna take this here. I get 2 goodwill, and I get this one, which is 1 combat strength as well. So now I have 2 combat strength already. And that's all I need, really. Yeah, so then I don't need to pull these guys off in order. If I pull these 2 back, I get 3 extra combat strength. Because now I am going to activate the Rangers. What is it? Rangers Outpost. Oh yeah, I placed this in the wrong spot. Yeah, it should be there. And I pull this back, and I pay 3 coins. Now I have 3 coins. So I pay those 3 coins in order to do a hunt. Okay, so I have a hunt, and the hunt is consists of 2 strength for my cards, right? And if we look up here to the enemies, this one over here is the one I most want to beat, because down here we have 2 red cubes. So there's a risk here that this will attack, and it will attack me. So I will hunt this guy, 2 strength, so I beat him. No problem. I get 1 point, which is one of these little markers. Nice. And also, he's dead, which means these threat cubes go away. They go to a discard pile, and they will be shuffled in when the bag runs out. This card will flip, and now it's a patrician again. It goes to the discard. And then we will take the bottom card from the deck. Not our deck, because there's only 1 deck. And that's actually my card. Okay. And that we will flip it. And so now we have both an Archfiend and a Chimera. So 3 + 1, so 4 strength in total here to beat this. It gives you 2 victory points and another victory point, or you can put down 1 worker to any location. Okay, so this goes up here on the tower. This is the new threat that is coming. And it's my card, which also means that my card is stuck up there until we beat it, or it beats us, or it attacks us. And then it will go back to my guild hall, because it's my card. Okay, so that happened, and now I think I am done with my turn. Wow, that was a long turn. I have all these markers here, all the stuff that I did in the first turn. So much happened here, so nice combos. I haven't played with all of these effects, earlier, so kind of surprised me on all the stuff I could do. And all these go to the discard pile, and I am done. I have 1 card in my guild hall for next turn. So now it is Draco's turn, and actually these should also slide over here. Like this. And we are ready for Draco's turn. So on Draco's turn, he is going to first of all drop his cubes. So he has these 2 cubes that he got randomly at the start of the game. He's going to drop them into the tower, and we'll see what happens. And no attack, of course, because there's only 1, 2, and 2. But this does not look good for Draco. There's 2 of his cubes there. Whatever, if Draco is, in the majority of his cubes, then it will only attack him. If it's black, it will attack both of us. And if it's my color, it will only attack me. If it's a tie, it will attack everyone that is tied. So Draco might want to hunt this Archfiend, but he has a 3 strength, so I don't know if Draco can pull that off here in this first turn. I don't think so. So, Draco's turn. He's going to start off. We're going to put his cards here once again, just because, so you can see when they activate. I think I'll remove these. You don't need to see these helping cards here. And we'll do it like that, maybe. Okay. So Draco has his 3 cards here. And he's going to start off with sort of the basic stuff. He's going to do this patrician, which gets him 1 goodwill and 1 influence, so that he can use later on. Then these 2 give him strength as citizens. He's going to do this one that gives him a gold and lets him draw a card. And he's going to draw, well, he draws the first. You always draw the first one here for that. So he gets this one, another citizen, which also is just 1 attack. But we'll see what Draco can do with that. And these are going to slide, by the way. And now Draco gets to do, of course, he gets to sleeve a card, like an advancement into one of his cards. And when he does that, he can sleeve it into any one of these, but he doesn't want to do the neutral. He wants to get it into his own card, of course. So what does Draco want? Well, I think Draco is going for sort of a money strategy, which means he might take another one of these, the alms giver that gets him money. So he will take this alms giver. Oh wait, he could do it like this, actually. This is better. There's so much in this game that you have to do things in the right order to optimize it. So he's going to sleeve this, but he's not going to sleeve it into his own card. He's going to sleeve it into this neutral card right here. Like that. So now this card gives you 2 gold for these 2 threat cubes and 1 gold from this dispatcher, right? And then Draco is going to do the what's it called? Capital Hall action. In the prologue, he put 2 guys here. Now he can pull them back to his worker force and pay 5 coins, which he will do. So 5 coins in order to get claim allegiance for one of the cards in his hand. So he's going to take this neutral card and he's going to slide this in here. And now this is Draco's card. So he made this really good 3-step card. He sleeved it in there, the advancement, and then he made it his own. So that was a good action for him. And also he gets to do this action, of course, to get 2 more gold as well. So that was a good round for him. Now he does have... Oh, he has 2 cards that he's not really using for anything because he's not hunting this round. So he instead... Oh yeah, Draco is going to use his own card. He's going to discard 2 cards in order to use one of the actions out here. And he's going to take this one, the alms giver, on his own card, which says gain a gold for each threat cube on this card, and he has 2. So that means now he gets 2 more gold. Wow, that was a really nice combo for Draco there. He spent 5 gold, but he still has 8 gold. No, 7. So that's really good for him. Okay, and now he will return these markers, and these 2 cards that he used will go to the discard pile, and that was Draco's first turn. So yeah, so he's happy with that. That was a good turn for sure. And now, at the end here, we are going to do... It's really easy. We're just going to move this little guy to indicate that we are now in round 2. The first player marker will pass over, so Draco will be the first player now. And now, so it goes to the right, which is kind of weird for me. It goes to the player to your right. So whoever was last will become first. So you get double turns. So Draco gets to go again, of course, here. In a 2-player game, that's kind of normal, but in a 3 or 4-player game, that feels a bit weird for me. But yeah, it's just that it's sort of uncommon in board games. Anyhow, it's time for Draco to do his next turn. And once again, we start with the assembly phase. And in the assembly phase, we are going to take the cards that was in our guild halls. I had 1, Draco doesn't have 1. That goes out to our hand. Our cubes go out onto the side or to a card. So they will be dropped in the tower soon. And then in turn order we draw cards. So Draco is going to pick up 3 cards from out here. Now in some cases, when we played the other day, there was one of these advancements that said if you had 2 guys on it, you got to increase your hand size by 1. But that's not in this game. So from what I can see, there's no way to increase our hand size. We're going to be stuck with having to draw 3 cards. And that changes up a bit as well. So it's so fun. It's like a bit Dominion style where, every time you play it, you get a different combination of these buildings. So I think Draco will start off... He will start off with taking his own card here. Why not? Okay, so that's 1. I think he'll take this patrician as well. That's pretty good. It's good for getting that influence. And then I think he will spend I will spend 2 influence to skip these 2. I flip them to goodwill right away to take his own card over there. Okay, so that was Draco's drafting. This will slide like this. And now we're out of cards here, so now we need to take the discard pile, which has both mine and Draco's cards that now are really good. It's like 3 advancements on them. These will be shuffled, and we get a new draw pile or new deck. Like that. Okay, so that goes there. And we draw 1 more. So Draco has taken his cards, and now it is time for me to draft. I only get to draft 2 though, because I already had 1 in my guild hall. Oh, what do I want to do? This is the Ranger Captain. This is a way to be able to hunt again, but I'm out of money. Oh, I need to find a way to get money. How would I do that? But this is really good because you can also take a card in the street and place it in your guild hall. Now I'm gonna take these 2 here. I'm getting half a point basically, and I'll take these 2 neutral cards. So I have my 3 cards. Draco has his 3 cards. Now this will slide, and now Draco is going to be the first to act. And the first thing that happens on his turn is that he's going to throw his cubes into the tower, and we can't get an attack now either because there's still too few cubes. So Draco is going here, and yeah, 1 in each, bit of a mix. Okay, then he activates his cards or his effects out on the board. He can also, of course, sleeve 1 card, or like sleeve 1 advancement, I should say, into a card. So let's see, what will he be going for? So here you can place guys and have a bunch of different effects, right? And there are triggers of citizens. He only has 2 citizens right now. In your hand and in your guild hall, yeah. He doesn't have that many citizens. I guess Draco would like to do some hunting as well, but he's sort of focusing on the money. And the allegiance and all that. I think he will go for maybe 1 of them. Yeah, Draco will take 1 more of these, whatever they're called, Advisor to the Chancellor. And he's going to sleeve this into his card. And as you can see, he's doing that first, because now when he activates this gets 1 gold for each threat cube. Now he has 3 instead of 2, so he increased that. So yeah, he could go ahead and activate that. He will get 3 coins for that, gold. And then he can activate this one, the Advisor. That lets him put 2 guys out here on the Capital Hall. And then right away he can activate this place and remove them back here and pay 5 gold in order to once again claim allegiance over 1 of the neutral cards in his hand. And he has 1, so he's going to claim allegiance over this. But Draco's taking over the cards. There's going to be more and more Draco green cards out here in the mix, which is good for him, because if I have to pick this up, or if I pick them up, then I have to pay him to use the effects. By the way, he can do this effect as well, the Patrician, just getting him 1 and 1, so 1 influence and 1 goodwill. And let's see, so he did sleeve, he activated that. He could do this. It's not that, well, it's good for money actually. So I guess he will, yeah, he will do this action here of pulling his worker from over here, pulling it back, and that means he gets 2 gold for each of his citizens in his hand or guild hall. He doesn't have anything in his guild hall, but he has 2 of his citizens. It has to be his citizens. He has 2 here, which means he gets 4 more gold. So Draco is swimming in gold. He has all the money in the world, little dragon. And he activated that, but now he's done, so now we can just remove all of these. They go to the discard pile. So that was Draco's turn, and he is happy about that. So my turn, first thing I do, throw some cubes in the tower, and now we could get an attack if we get really unlucky here. We could go up to 6. We'll see how it goes. No, they split up, so 4, 4, and 3. And yeah, wow. This is kind of nasty because I am in the lead here. I have 2 red there. Might be an attack on me. And there's going to be an attack soon, of course, so you'll see how that works. I can just mention that if you get attacked and you can't defend yourself, you have to move down on this track. And the more you move down, the less points you get at the end of the game. You start off getting 17 points here, but it goes down to 0 in the worst case. You usually end up somewhere in the middle here. But those attacks get really nasty as the game progresses. You know, the cards get stronger since we are sleeping new advancement into them. We make the cards stronger. We make our own doom, basically, in this game. Okay, so now it's my turn. What do I want to do? I have 3 attacks. I would like to hunt, but I can't, right? No, I don't have any money. I need to get money somehow. Even if I'm not going for money as Draco is doing really heavy, I need to have some money generation. I have the City Watch commander here, and he says I can put up to 2 guys over in the City Watch, and for every guy I have in the City Watch, I get a defense of 1. So if I have 2 or 3 here, I can be defended from those attacks, and then I don't need to worry about losing points that way. But then my workers are tied up over there, so that's kind of problematic as well. Oh, wow. I have a card out here that I could reach by discarding 2. And then I could sleeve an advancement. Ooh, that would be nice. One of my cards. Yeah, since I'm not going to use these really. But wait. I get to sleeve 1 for free. Oh, I would like to claim the allegiance, but wow, I don't have the money. That's the issue for me right now. And I guess oh yeah, I see. Okay, this is good, but this is also risky. It's good, but it's risky. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to choose this advancement, the Alms Giver. I'm going to sleeve it into this neutral card, because then it will give 1 gold for each threat cube, right? And now this card has 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will right away get 4 coins for that. But it's risky because I don't own this card. And there is a risk that Draco might be able to claim the allegiance of this. Oh, also I should mention that like this card that Draco had, or has, that has 3 advancements in it. This is worth 3 points to him at the end of the game. You get 1 point for each that you have in your allegiance. So if Draco like claims this one, then that will give 3 points to him for the end of the game. So that's a big part of the points you get as well. Wow, this is a bit tricky now. Okay, so I did that. I could discard. I don't want to do the Deep Hollow Militia Chief because I already have 2 guys over in Deep Hollow that can give me temporary strength. But in order to use that strength, I need to hunt. In order to hunt, I need money. So well, I do have the money now. But now I already sleep. Okay, so I'm going to. Wow, this is it's such a puzzle basically. It's a big puzzle that you have in front of you. And you're trying to make this work somehow. Okay, so I'm going to discard 2 cards in order to use the effect on one of the cards out in the streets. I'm going to use the effect on my own card, which says I can put down 1 guy over at the ranger outpost, because that's something I need as well if I'm going to hunt. I need to have 1 guy there that I can pull back, plus pay 3 coins. Oh, then I could actually hunt right away. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, so then I do that. I place 1 guy over at the ranger's outpost. Wow, I'm discovering things as I go here. And because I discarded 2 cards, I can activate this. This is still out here in the street, but I activated it. And then I get or I also get to take any card in the street and place it in my guild hall. So I'm going to place this card in my guild hall, so I definitely have it for next round. So that's good. Now I can do the action over here, which is to pull back that person I just placed and pay 3 coins in order to hunt. And when I hunt, it looks like, well, I only have 1 strength, right? So that's not going to do any good. But the thing is, I can pull on the, as I talked about, this Deep Hollow border town. If I pull... No, then I have to do the action. Ah, my brain hurts. I can't do that for free. I have to do the action of pulling them up to get 3 strength. I had the action over here, but I discarded this card in order to activate so I could do the... Wow, okay, so I'm going to back up. I'm going to have to hunt next time then. I'll take 3 coins back. I'm sorry, it's a bit confusing. Yeah, so okay, so I can't hunt now, but at least I got the person placed on the ranger's outpost by discarding 2 cards, activating this card, and also I got to place this card in my guild hall, so I know that I will have this next time. Okay, so that's it for me. I could place someone down for defense, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to discard this card and I'm done. That was a lot of things happening. Okay, I'm going to play one more round, I think. So I'm going to slide these so that you get to see an attack as well. By the way, I think I forgot something. I did forget something. We were supposed to add cubes. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draco, I should have had 6 cubes. Yeah, easy to forget things. 4, wow, only green. Draco doesn't like that. Okay, so these go into my threat zone. I should have done this before I started doing my actions. And what did Draco have? He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he had 5 because, yeah, I'm not counting the ones that we sleeved in now, of course, because this should have happened before that. And he got a bit of a mix there. Okay. So, speaking of attacks, I reminded myself of that. Okay, so that's it. Our actions are done. These are in the discard. And now I will be the first player again. And this little guy will take one more step. So we're into round 3. And I will draft first. So what do I draft? Well, first of all, my card from the guild hall goes out here. And it's ready. And I get to take 2 more cards. Oh, I think... So Draco's card is really good. I think I'm going to take Draco's card this time. And then you also get to see how that works when you have another player's card. But first, I will take this one. And then for my third, I will pay 2 influence to take Draco's card into my hand. Okay, so I have 3 cards. And now, first of all, I will put these cubes down on their cards there. To remind myself to put them in the tower. And then I will count up all these here. This is when you should do this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I will draw 7 new cubes from the bag and get them into my threat zone area. So let's see what we get. So this is 5 black. And okay, so only one of our player colors. And black is kind of bad as well because it means attacking everyone. So that was my drafting. Now these will slide like this. And then Draco will get to choose 3 because he doesn't have anything in his guild hall. He's not really doing that thing that I keep doing. So what does Draco want? He has 2 influence, so he could move ahead here. I think he wants to get at least 1. Oh no, he wants that. Okay, so he's going to take this, gets him a goodwill. He's going to skip this poor citizen. Nobody wants to deal with him. He's all alone. And then he's going to take this, which is, you know, good for him. Good card there. And then he's going to skip my citizen here. And he's going to take his own card over there. So then Draco has 3 cards. He doesn't have any influence now, though. But he will get some new one. So he's not worried about that. And now these will slide. And once again, we need to shuffle up the deck a little bit. And you should shuffle this so you don't see what comes up. And then... that's the deck. And that card that's on the deck is also available, sort of. If you pay enough influence, you can get to that as well. So, that was the assembly phase almost. Should not forget, Draco's cubes go down here. And he should add, let's see, he should add... wow, only 1. Only 1 cube. Huh. Okay. So Draco gets 1 cube from the bag into his threat zone. And it's my cube, so he's happy about that. Now that I start doing my actions, I will throw in all of these. And I think you will see an attack now, because this is a bunch of cubes. There's a lot of green, so that's looking good. I hope they will attack Draco. So here we go. Wow. 2 attacks is going to happen. Okay. So we start off with this one here. So this has 4 greens, 2 reds, and 1 black, which means Draco is definitely in the lead there. It's only going to attack him. And it attacks with the strength of 4. And Draco doesn't have any defense at all. So he is going to lose 1 of his movement here, which doesn't really lose him any points the first time. It goes from 17 to 17. But then it goes down to 16 and it gets worse and worse. By the way, you should have little nice towers here, but I don't have those. I borrowed the game from a friend. Anyway, so Draco lost that in that attack. Now, this card, that was my card, goes to my guild hall because it's discarded. So I get to use that later next turn with the positive effects, of course. And now we have to pull out the bottom card here and get a new one out. And it's going to be Draco's card, a Dark Agent and a Murderer. So 3 strength in total. And all these cubes that were here are going to the cube discard. So this tray here is empty. Then we're going to get an attack here, because we have 6 cubes, and we have 2 of each, which means it will attack everyone. So, yeah, we don't have any defense, none of us. So I will lose 1 step here, and Draco will lose another step, which means now he's down to 16 points for the endgame instead of those 17. And of course, this card, this is a neutral card, so, no, not that one. The one in the middle goes to the discard pile. All the cubes go away. And that's how the attacks work. And it might not seem that bad. At first when I played this game, I was like, yeah, okay, they're going to attack. It's going to lose a few points here. But the thing is, they're going to attack and attack and attack during the game. And you can really get low there and, you know, lose a lot of points. And the bottom card is another Dark Agent to Strength. He goes in the middle here as a new enemy on the tower. So that was the attack since I threw my cubes. Now I get to do my actions. So let's see, what am I starting out with here? And I also get to sleeve a card, of course. I have 1 room on that neutral card. I mean, if I had full cards here, I wouldn't get to do that advancement sleeve, so that would be really bad. You want to do that, of course, every turn. And that is mandatory, so I have to. I can't say like, no, I don't want to improve this neutral card. I have to do that sleeving. That is a mandatory action. But I can do it in any order I want. So let's start off with some gold. So I will do this and get 1 gold for each threat cube here, which is 2. Then I will do this and get a gold. And I can also draw a card. And if I pay 2 influence, I can take a card from my guild hall. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to pay my 2 influence. It's the only influence I have, but I'm going to pay those so that I get to take this card into action. That means that I can activate my patrician here to get a goodwill and another influence. So that was kind of cheap for me anyway. And the goodwill is, you know, a quarter of a point. Then I can do, let's see, let's do this in the proper order. Ooh. Wow. So do I want to hunt this turn? I kind of want to. I want to hunt. Okay, so let's... I get to sleeve a card as well. I need more gold, so I'm going to sleeve... I like this gold generator. I'm going to sleeve the Almsgiver into this neutral card. Wait, I could claim it. No, let's not do that. Let's instead claim a card just like Draco did. I need to, you know... Because at the end of the game, also, there will be like a majority scoring. So whoever has the most victory point tokens gets 2 VP. The most workers, which is me right now, gets 2 VP. Most guild cards, which is Draco, he gets 2 VP. Highest on the defense track, that's me, because he took 2 hits. I only took 1. That's 2 VP. So it's also, you know, something you need to consider. So I'm going to sleeve this counselor advisor guy into the neutral card, like this. That means I can... Oh, wait. I can put 2 guys down there. I need 2 guys in order to do the action. To pay 5 gold and claim allegiance. I only have 1 worker though, that's the thing. How do I get around that? Well, the thing is, I'm not going to do anything on this card. Because I can't sleeve an extra advancement because all the cards are full now. No, not this one. Oh, okay. So then I could... Yeah, I can remove, I can pull back this guy that's over here. And then I get to sleeve an advancement into a card. So I can sleeve something into my card here. Oh. I can, okay, combo wombo. So I am going to sleeve in one of these dispatchers down here. And I can use it right away. So that will give me another coin. And I get to draw a card. So I'm going to draw this guy and get 2 more goodwill. That's a half a point. So then I have this one as well. And then since I'm not going to hunt this turn, I could pull it back. I have done this judge, by the way. That's how I got the whole sleeving thing going. And I think I'll do this Ranger Captain action to take any card in the street and place it in my guild hall. I'll take my own card, get another Goodwill, and place this in my guild hall. Why not? And then I could... Yeah, now I have enough. Okay. So then I could... Let's see, 5... Yeah. Then I could do this action, which is to place 2, because now I have 2 guys out there on the capital hall. And then I pull them back, and I pay 5 coins to the bank. And that lets me put my allegiance on this neutral card. So this is 3 points basically doing this. And also I'm sort of catching up to Drako in, you know, this is my card now. That's awesome. So much fun combos in this game, and so much stuff happening. You do one thing that leads to another. It's a bit tricky for your brain, but once you get it running and you get familiar with the cards, it's so much fun. I love it. Okay, so now I could... Oh, okay, now I can do this even. Oh, this is awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to activate my university professor, which means I can put one guy down in the Guildmark University out here. And then I get to, because it's and or, so I also get to train. I also get to pay 4 to recruit a new guy, a new worker, but it's 1 discount because I have 1 guy out there, so I pay 3, and I get another one into my active area. So that is awesome. And each one of these at the end of the game is worth a point as well. So that got me a point, and it put me more in the lead, so that I have the most workers at the end of the game, so that I get 2 points for that as well. Wow, okay. So much stuff going on. And I don't see any use for this citizen that I got. I just got like goodwill off of him. So I think I'm done there. I'm going to oh, and I forgot something. I cheated. I'm a big fat cheater. Wow. I told you I was going to take Draco's card so I can demonstrate how that worked, and then I forgot about it because I'm talking about other stuff. When I used this card, I had to pay Draco a coin because it's Draco's card. So I should pay Draco 2 coins, which means I couldn't do all the stuff that I just did. Wow. I don't know. I felt so excited to film this, and I felt like I was in good shape to film, and I had my focus on and all, but I still messed it up. But the thing is, I'm going to stop it right here. But the thing is, I think you get the idea on how the game plays. And that's the whole point of watching these run-throughs, right? You get to see all the attacks, effects, all the cards out here, how the board works, the workers, the money, the goodwill. I think I've shown you basically everything here. And, you know, the fun, I really love this game. I think that's already obvious. I think it's awesome. And I think what's really good about it is that, you know, this different... the variation in the game. There's so much replayability, there's so much different combinations, and there's expansions coming, and oh, so much stuff. The only downside I would say to the game is that, as you've seen here, 1 turn, when you start getting a bunch of cards, 1 turn could take a long time. So in a 4-player game or even a 3-player game, there's a lot of downtime. You have to sit there and wait for the other players to figure out in which order they're going to do stuff. I think this game is at its best at 2. I think so, or even solo. I haven't played it solo yet. I would like to try that. I will try that at some point. But yeah, I think that's a sad thing, and it goes for a lot of these games that have really cool stuff happening. But when you have the game flow being 1 player will do everything on their turn, and then it's the next player, then you end up with these problems. I mean, usually I prefer games like Terraforming Mars or whatever, where you do 1 thing or 2 things. I mean, that's the most games have that. And then it's the next player's turn and they do a thing, and then it goes around the table. In this game, I can understand that they couldn't really do that, though, because these combos that you get, like you take a card from there and that card can activate and that happens then and then happens then, that wouldn't really work that way if people did it 1 action at a time. So I can understand why it's there. I still love the game, but yeah, that's something to be aware of. I don't think you should play this on 4 maybe, or I mean, well, maybe when people get, you know, used to it, it's gonna be faster and all that. But it's a long game anyhow. It's like 3 hours or something on 3 players, or 3.5 hours. So yeah, Edge of Darkness, Really cool game. I can really recommend to check this out if you like this. I think it's so cool with this crafting cards. I love that. I love that in Mystic Vale, but I got bored of Mystic Vale pretty fast because it was just, boom, 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 gather resources, use the resource, get points, and then it was over. In this one, there's so much more gameplay here, and we have a common deck, which is so cool as well. It's such a nice, innovative thing in a game to have. It's really cool. So, thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked it. I'm sorry that it was a bit confusing at times. If you liked it, please press the like button. If you're new to the channel, please press the red button and subscribe to see more videos coming up. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening, morning, whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye-bye.
Be like Draco. Follow Board Games with Niramas on Facebook at BGW Niramas.